Second Deputy Speaker, the current suppliers who have been supplying fuel in Malawi, we are failing to service them. And their outstanding bill that Malawi is owing the suppliers is more than 50 million United States dollars. Instead of arranging the 180 days with these suppliers who are currently in the country, madam, they are here. They are looking for their money. They are here in the country, madam. Instead of making that arrangement with those who are supplying fuel in Malawi, we are running away to service this debt, and we are creating new suppliers. That is why, madam, you agree with me. Just the past days, last month, we saw one of the ministers holding 2 ministerial posts. We saw one of the ministers signing a deal for procurement of fuel. This is because we are running away to service our suppliers. And we would want to create new suppliers. Madam, they are here. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, instead of addressing the issue of the fuel, madam, we are trying to resolve the fight. What is happening is the fight concerning the deals. Who should do this? Who should do this? Who should get the deals for fuel? Who should get the deals for fuel? So we are disregarding the institutions mandated to do their work just because we would want to benefit from the deals of fuel. That resulted to one of the ministers, who is not a minister responsible for energy, signing documents from the Minister of Energy. What kind of arrangement is this one, madam? Madam Second Deputy Speaker, madam, they are claiming to say they would want to do the Kenyan model. I would want to inform them, madam, that in Kenya, the government is not procuring fuel. Actually, the government nominated an oil company that is procuring fuel on their behalf. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, madam, in this bill, they are even running away from NOCMA. NOCMA is nowhere to be named within the bill. When we tried to inquire, madam, they are saying they are creating an agent apart from NOCMA. Remember, madam, we created in the past, we did the same mistake, madam, where we created PMWell. As I stand today and as I speak, PMWell is no longer there. So we would want to create another PMWell again. What kind of leadership is this, madam? Madam Second Deputy Speaker, what Kenya is doing, the agent Kenya is doing, there are traders who are capable to procure fuel and sell to the government of Kenya. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, madam, that company, one of the companies who are supplying fuel to Kenya is the Gulf Energies. And one of the officials, madam, at state residence is having a working relationship with them. And they would want to use the Gulf Energy to supply fuel to Malawi. As I speak, madam, yesterday, they were about to write the letter of credit to authorize this country, to commit this country, that we are going to pay a lot of US dollars paying to Gulf Energy, even without passing this bill. If indeed what they are doing is on good faith, why is it that they have already signed and they have already pressed an order. Madam, for your own information, Malawi government has already ordered 40 metric tons of 20 petrol as well as 20 diesel. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, what I try to communicate to Malawians, if this government would want to procure fuel under emergency, then they have to activate the emergency strategy plan that are there to allow them procure in the manner they are willing to procure. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, in the process of changing this law, before even we change, we have seen, Madam, some of the institutions being bypassed. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, in the process of doing whatever they want to do, what they are claiming is government to government. Madam, they are bypassing the Reserve Bank. Madam, they are bypassing Minister of Finance. Madam, they are bypassing Foreign Affairs Ministry. Madam, they are bypassing Nojuma, and Mera is not there. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, I would want this House to recall the issue of fertilizer, where we tried to say that we should procure fertilizer from the suppliers, that government should procure from the suppliers. Madam, we tried the first year, we ended up East Bridge. We tried the second year, we ended up procuring fertilizer in the farmers. I would want to challenge them. If at all they have that capacity to do this, they should give us an example where they tried to procure on behalf of Malawians and they were successful. Second Deputy Speaker.
20 minutes.
Second Deputy Speaker, we received a donation from DR Congo in a form of fuel. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, we received a donation from DR Congo, 100 million liters. And because of the selfishness, we opted to give a third party to sell that fuel on our behalf for personal needs. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I would want to inform Malawians and this House today that the person we gave the fuel is no longer giving us back the money. He has eaten the money. We are even failing to make sure that he should pay us because it was personal and we wanted to benefit personally. This guy is so clever to the extent that what he pwned. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, it is unfortunate that today, while I'm a member of parliament and the head of state is there, they are bringing this kind of bill because they feel they are more powerful. Madam, china chili chonse chingauluke chizatera. Time will come, madam. The powers they have today will not be there tomorrow. Remember, even we had the DPP. We had even UDF before. Today we are no longer in government. One day they will not be in government. And the decisions we are making today, madam, they will account for that. I would want to challenge them, madam, that Malawi is for everybody. There are no other part of Malawi that are more Malawians and others they are less Malawians. They are using taxpayers' money to have this kind of power. they are using taxpayers' money. Second Deputy Speaker, Madam. There were people who were powerful before me and before them. The power they are using today, Madam, they should use it to serve Malawians as their promises. They should not use those powers to infringe Malawians. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, as I'm speaking, people from my constituency, Machinga East constituency, they are hearing. I'm talking to the people in Mzimba. I'm talking to the people from Karonga and people from Mulanje as well as Cholo. That, Madam, today, this government, after failing to service Malawians are currently dying. They are busy fighting on deals, fuel deals. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, even if they pass this bill, but I want to register that today, standing here representing UDF, we are not taking part on this bill. With those few remarks, Madam, I would want to sit down. I submit, Madam.
Thank you very much, spokesperson of UDF. Honorable Minister, I thought you would come in winding up. I thought, is it a point of order? Whose seat is that? I can't see him. Ask for the floor. It's not working? If it's not working, use the old system then. Try to ask for the floor. Yes. You have the floor. Honorable members, order. Order.
Madam. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam. It is out of order.
Honorable member, you cannot judge the honorable member. Ask if it is out of order. It's in order and then you continue.
Okay. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, let me begin by African proverb. Until the lion lays, the history of the hunt will always praise the hunter. End of quote. People here are clapping hands to the witches.
Honorable member, honorable minister, what has gone out of order? Because if you want to respond to what they have said, you will have the chance to do so.
Misinformation which they are giving in this august house. Madam Speaker, PIL, before PIL, let me just remind them, those who were giving false information. Before PIL, there was Petroleum Commission control.
Minister, you're not supposed to say that in you are winding up. Because no, it will be your time to respond to whatever it has been said. No, honorable member, honorable leader, you will have the chance to respond to whatever has been said.
Point of order.
You have the floor, leader.
I wanted to, with your indulgence, when Machinga East was responding on behalf of UDF, he said that this bill, State House will be making a decision on this bill. And I wanted that to be addressed by you. The problem of having an opportunity and immunity, people speak everything. And because there's a right to everybody to speak whatever they want to speak, they can accuse everyone. When we ask them for more information, when we ask them to provide evidence, they say we are gagging them. Now, if we don't stop them, or if we don't ask you to stop them, where is the evidence that the State House is going to be controlling this? And we have the bill segregated, and even the authority, the agents, everything is in the bill. Where has it been stipulated? I know it's time for politics. I know people want to hear and be appraised somewhere else. If we sit down, we don't talk, the information goes out. If we ask through you that they should bring evidence, you are gagging us, you don't have to speak. As Honorable Mulanje Bale said that debate has two sides, I also stand here to ask her to provide that evidence. She has spoken so much. Let her provide the evidence.
Maybe I did not hear you.
About State House making a decision on these matters. She's on record, I've said that. Let her bring the evidence. The reason is, madam, when we stand here, when we stand here to address you, I want us to be fair, both sides.
Yes.
And we are using standing orders which demands evidence. She has spoken so much. People are giving money. Somebody wanted to pay $100 million. All those things. Can she bring the evidence to you? That's what I'm saying. If it is an opinion, the House has a procedure on opinions. Can she bring the evidence of the $100 million she's talking about?
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, order. When you make noise, I'm unable to hear what the honorable members are saying. As a result, I will also have a problem making decisions on what has been asked. So if I say order, please, can you bring order in the House? When I asked the honorable minister to stop saying whatever he was saying, I knew that he will have a chance whereby he will respond to whatever has been said in his winding up remarks. That's why I stopped him. But then the honorable leader of the House is asking the honorable member, spokesperson for UDF, that in your speech, you have said that one of the officials at the State House is involved in the deals of fuel. And then he's asking for that evidence, if it is available. If not, then you have to withdraw that statement.
Thank you so much, Second Deputy Speaker, Madam. In trying to address the queries from the government, I would want to remind them that as we are taking the powers from Nokuma and Mera and from PPDA and giving the powers to a minister who is representing the president, that means we are taking this issue to the state residents.
Honorable member,
Secondly,
madam, the issue is.
Secondly, madam, I do not know which official from state residence is looking for this evidence, because I haven't mentioned a name. But if you want to know more, you can even go to the airport and check the list of the people who went to Kenya. If there is any official from the civil service, you will find that it was a list of people from state residents. So they do have, though they are asking, but they do have and they know. So I respect the leader and I respect the government, but if they are doing the wrong thing, I'm using my oversight role to make sure that the government be accountable.
Honorable member, that's not how we run our business in this house. If someone is asking for the evidence, you can't say, go to such a place to get the evidence. No. We rely on you to bring the evidence here. If you said, of course you did not mention the name, you just said an official from the State House. So government is looking for that evidence so that they should know which official is this one, who is involved in the deal.
Right Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, I know it's time for politics. I know that people will say whatever they want to say, but the standing orders should be protected. What I'm asking here is in the standing order. When you want to dent the names of other people, and because a minister is a minister appointed by the president, then that should be talking about the president. I plead your chair, let's use standing orders to the latter. And I don't want to go beyond this. I want to respect the chair, I want to respect standing orders. Thank you.
Honorable Leader, I have not refused for what you have asked. That is exactly what I have asked the honorable member. So when you stand and repeat what I have said, then I don't understand what is it that is supposed to be done. Honorable member for Machinga East, representing UDF, we need evidence for your statement. If not, then you have to withdraw that statement.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I will provide your office with the list I submit.
Thank you very much. We need that evidence by tomorrow. Thank you. May I have a report from the Honorable Chair of Natural Resources Committee?
Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for granting me the floor.
Order, honorable members, order. Order.
Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for granting me the floor to present the report of the Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change on Bill number 29 of 2024, liquid fuels gas production and supply amendment, which was referred to your committee as per Standing Order 125.3. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, it is no secret that as a country we have faced erratic fuel supply in recent years, which has affected government operations and the economy of the country as a whole. As a way of responding to this predicament, government has resorted to a policy shift to ensure that the country has enough and stable fuel supply. The introduction of liquid fuel and gas production and supply amendment bill should therefore not come as a surprise to any Malawian. This bill seeks to amend the Liquid Fuel Gas Production and Supply Act in order to address the challenges identified in the implementation of the Act and ensure efficiency, reliability, enhanced regulatory compliance, and operational transparency in the supply of diesel and petrol through government-to-government fuel supply arrangement. As I mentioned earlier, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, the bill aims to stabilize the supply of diesel and petrol, improves forex pressure exerted by fuel importation, and strengthen regulatory tools to increase compliance with energy laws. I therefore wish to report, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, that after the referral of the bill to your committee, the committee met on 1st December 2024 to critically analyze the bill. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, the committee carefully considered all the clauses of the bill and proposed only one amendment under clause 2 on phrase government agent, which the committee was concerned that if left in the present state would lead to an individual to be hired as an agent. The committee therefore proposed that government agent should be removed and replaced with a phrase state-owned entity. Madam Speaker, I once again thank you for your support to the committee for granting me the opportunity to present the report to the House. I therefore beg to move that this report be considered and adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Chair of Natural Resources Committee. May I have a seconder, please? Honorable member for Nkarabe Southeast, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Second Deputy Speaker, for giving a chance to Nkarabe Southeast, who has no intention, Second Deputy Speaker, to filibuster, because we have seen enough filibustering in the morning of this when we are doing these bills. For the benefit of those, I know all members here know what filibuster means, but for the benefit of one of my friends who had his dictionary eaten by rats, to filibuster through tactics that would delay registration of a bill. Madam Speaker, Second Deputy Speaker, my chair has ably highlighted why we need this bill. In the current setup of importation of fuel in this country, Second Deputy Speaker, it places a huge albatross on the neck of government. Therefore, having observed that, it's time we unshackled government from that situation. And the people of Nkarabe Southeast are very happy that now the importation of fuel will not be left to doba-dobas, but government will be involved. Madam Deputy Speaker, I know if I were a doba-doba, which I'm not, I would be going to the tailor to have my trousers adjusted to make them smaller, because I will not be eating that money of a doba anymore. So it's understandable for any doba-doba to be very worried with this bill. Finally, Madam Speaker, let me say this. A soldier will fall who doesn't know which battles to fight has his days extremely numbered. With those words, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, the people of Nkatabe Southeast support this bill. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, for seconding that report. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate on the report, not on the bill, on the report. So I promised Salima Southeast to be given the floor after spokespersons and the report. Salima, you have the floor.
Oh! Thank you so much, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to talk. First, before I comment on this bill, I have to wish my wife a happy birthday.
The report, not the bill? Is the report not the bill?
Okay, on the report, I wish to wish my wife the happy birthday. I'm against you and I'm against you. I'm married, yeah? Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker. I rise to support the report. And we have seen the comments from different representatives, from DPP.
Remember, are you winding up?
Some of them, they are senseless. Some of them, they are good. I, as a member of Parliament for Salima Southeast, we are all supporting the bill. I beg to conduct the debate so that the Honorable Minister can wind up. Thank you so much, Madam Musa.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. I hope now you'll be quiet because you have expressed yourself.
This is my time. I'm begging the House to curtail the debate so that the chair can wind up.
Honorable member, that is done by the leadership, not you.
I'm from government. I'm from government side.
It's government business, Honorable.
I'm from government side. I'm a government.
No, it is done by the leadership, not you.
No. I beg to move.
Honorable members, Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Since there is no one standing up and requesting for a floor, I would like to borrow a motion from the people of Salima Southwest to stand up and, Southeast to request the House that we curtail debate in order to allow the chair to wind down. Thank you very much.
Honorable members. Honorable members, as the question put by the Chief Whip, no, it's only the Chief Whip who can do that, the leadership, that it can, debate be curtailed in order for the chairperson to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Chair, wind up.
Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to wind up debate on the report. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Let me take this opportunity to thank the members who have contributed, Salima Southwest, and those who wanted to contribute but did not do so. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, when your committee was interacting with stakeholders on this report, there were quite a number of questions which we also asked. We wanted to find out the fate of other oil marketing companies in this country. And we were given very clear answers. For instance, we wanted to find out about the role of PIL. And we were told that PIL will be in the fuel coordinating committee, which is in the bill, which means they will also be participating in making sure that decisions made on sales of fuel within the country, they also participate. We also wanted to find out on the issues to do with PPDA. This has been an issue. They are saying that PPDA, government has left PPDA out. We were given clear answers to say that after the bill has been passed, there will be regulations. PPDA is a Malawi-owned government entity. If government of Malawi wants to negotiate a deal, for instance, with Saudi Arabia, how does the PPDA come in to negotiate with Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia would not even know what PPDA is all about. So under that arrangement, once the bill has been passed, the minister will come up with regulations which will take full control of making sure there is accountability. There's no way government can operate without accountability. Also, the House may wish to know that the government is trying to rescue some of these oil marketing companies from the losses that they are making. For instance, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, as of November end, PIL had made a loss of 175.5 billion Malawi kwacha. Now, if this continues, then it's not on for us as a country. With those few remarks, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the report be adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Honorable members, before I suspend the House for a healthy break. Oh, let me put the question first. Leader, I want to put the question first. Honorable members, the question is that the report by the Natural Resources Committee on Bill number 29 of 2024, Liquids, Fuels and Gas Production and Supply Amendment, be adopted by the whole House. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Second Deputy Speaker, I wanted to beg that I move that we waive standing order number 6. The aim is that once we deal with this bill, we should be able to knock off today. So we go and come back and not. We have worked so hard. Let's finish the bill, and then once we are done, we can wait for tomorrow to come, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Leader. That's the guidance from the Leader of the House, so there is no motion for that. But I already started handling this announcement, so let me just continue. That in the House we have chiefs from Zimbasolola. They are here to observe our proceedings. Magogo atu imirirani pamene mulipo. Magogo ochokera ku Zimbasolola. But I don't even see them. Where are they? They have gone already. Ah, okay. Sorry for that. May we proceed, please? So we go for debate on the bill. Zimba North. I'm using the list here. Nikuonani. Nzimba, you have the floor.
Thank you.
Thereafter, Lilongwe Malingunde.
Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker. Good afternoon. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, here we are again with a government which is on trial. Madam Deputy Speaker, it all started with sending our military army and without disregard to Section 161, without consulting Parliament to DRC in exchange for fuel. And when you're exchanging military people in exchange for fuel, that was very bad. Then next thing, what comes is bridging foundation.
Before you, leader, honorable member, resume your seat. And I will ask all the honorable members to concentrate on the bill itself, nothing else. Honorable leader. Honorable leader, you have the floor.
Can we be talking about the military and DRC in this way in this house?
That's why I said we have to concentrate on the bill.
Madam Speaker, again, in the spirit of trial and error, we had the bridging foundation with the 6.8 area Christmas, which never materialized. Again, in the spirit of trial and error, the Minister of Cabinet went to Dubai to sign a 1 trillion deal on fuel again on trial and error, which never materialized and it was against IMF decisions. Now, here we are, Madam Speaker. Today, we are trying to amend the government-to-government deal. By another government. And in that spirit, it means Malawi is selling its sovereign guarantee to Kenya or to that country, which we are not ready to be sold or to be auctioned by government to government. And as alluded to Machinga Lukwenu, what he was saying, Malawi is a constitutional government, and it cannot undertake a government-to-government deal without the people or even not only the members of parliament. We must have a referendum that we are surrendering our normality. And we are not bankrupt to that level that we should be run by Kenya. We are not bankrupt to that level that we should be run by Dubai. Madam Deputy Speaker, these are signs of a government that has failed. And these signs are very prominent now in the sense that we are failing to have a one-month cover of Forex. And this government is calling for 6-month cover of Forex. We are going to plunge this government into deep deficit. And when DPP and us were taking over, we have a lot of problems to solve these problems. This is a code for Madam Deputy Speaker. Having said that, Madam Speaker, the fuel saga in Malawi is not new with this government. We started giving all transport and the related purchases to Tanzania. And that has flopped because Nokima has a deficit with the suppliers in Tanzania. Now we're trying to get fuel through Kenya. It means we'll transship our fuel from Dubai to Kenya, Kenya to Tanzania, and then to Malawi. What kind of a cost is that? That is another cost implication which will lead to CIF will be very, very high. Madam Speaker, I think it is time maybe to call the government of Chakwera to resign. And this is the moment to tell them that they should resign. I would therefore request maybe the Raja Party DPP with me to move a motion to make this government to resign immediately. Because where we're going to a disaster. And if possible, Madam Speaker, I would like to suspend Standing Order 211, that the Parliament should be suspended to review this government, and we should move for a break so that we can talk about how we can move to make sure that the Chakwera government and the next Chakwera government and the Chimwendo government to resign. I submit, Madam Speaker. Before I sit down, I again move a motion under Standing Order 211 that we should suspend business to move an extra motion that the government of this government must resign. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Honorable member, you can't bring that motion now. You can't bring that motion.
No, but gross incompetence, Madam Speaker, gross
Leader of
incompetence
the
of the
House.
government. You have no choice but to make sure that they resign. And that is provided for.
I can't see him. I can't see him. You have the floor, Leader.
Right, Honorable. I think even when in primary school, we are taught that two empty tins make noise. I will not respond to those empty remarks. Those are empty, and I will not withdraw that. Very empty, and I will not withdraw that. Those are empty remarks.
Honorable Leader, you are the one starting it.
Yes, but you
How can
cannot
you
allow
say
him.
your-
You cannot allow him to abuse and speak negatively about the president when the standing orders are very clear. And he says, Chimwendo government. Do I own a government? That's an empty head.
Deputy Leader, you want to speak? You have the floor.
Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that we curtail debate on the bill to allow the Honorable Minister to wind up. I beg to move.
For members, I now put a question, and the question is that debate on the bill be curtailed in order for the Honorable Minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honorable Minister, why are you standing? Division granted. May I have the bells rang for 5 minutes, please? May I have the bells rang for 5 minutes? Honorable Leader for Opposition, I saw you standing when I already recognized the Deputy Leader. So, no, what I'm saying is, I saw you when I already recognized her. Honorable members, let me say this. The bells are ringing. Honorable leaders, honorable members, order. Honorable members, may I ask everyone to sit on his or her own seat? Honorable members, each one of you should go to his or her seat. Mulanje Bale, go to your seat. Go to your seat. Want to start? Honorable members, the bells are ringing. May you sign in, and this should be done only by the honorable members who have constituencies. the bells will close the signing in. Salima Southeast, what's your problem? Go back to your seat. Members, I don't want any movement, please. And our officials be on the look. I don't want any member to go and sign in on somebody's computer. Are you standing? No, I will not give you a chance to speak. Just resume your seat. Just resume your seat. You can't speak, we are voting. Just resume your seat. Ah, okay. Our technicians, where are you? Assist him. How do you are unable to sign in? Honorable member from Mlanje Bale, Honorable member from Mlanje Bale, I cannot give you space because we are voting here. We are done with the signing in. 5 minutes has gone. May I have the doors closed, please? May I have the doors closed? Thank you. The doors are closed. Honorable members. Honorable members, if you want the debate to be curtailed on the bill, you have to vote yes. If not, then no. You can vote now. Just wait, honorable members, just wait. We have a technical hiccup. So she is Yes, now we should start voting. Panga basi. Honorable members, the results are here. Yes, 78, no 35, abstention 1, not participating 3. It means the debate has been curtailed. May I have a winding up by the Honorable Minister of Energy?
Thank you, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam. Let me thank all honorable members who have contributed.
Honorable members is standing, please resume your seats. The minister is speaking. Honorable members is standing, please resume your seats.
On this bill, liquid fuels and gas production is.
Honorable member for Mulanje Bali, is the sickness demanding you to be standing?
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I expected to hear from our learned person who is a former diplomat, but also senior counsel, but also he was my SPC in 2012. And he overseen when I was signing to construct the strategic fuel reserves in this country, which we didn't have according to SADC protocol and also for this country. He was the SPC. I thought he's going to mention that.
Honorable Minister, what he was saying, it was on behalf of the party. So the party did not ask him to say what you want. Please.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam. Members of Parliament should not have fears. If we go back to the history, Gwazi Dr. Kamuzubanda the late had put everything into the systems where we had the Oilcom. You go to Nkata Bay, there were fuel reserves in Nkata Bay. Chirumba, Chipoka, Mchinji, Monkey Bay. Those who were in government, the previous governments, they destroyed all this infrastructure. By that time, it was Petroleum Control. Then it went into Petroleum Importers Limited. Within that, our colleagues, they sold all the vessels. The Kampango, the Katundu, the Nkwazi, the Ufuru, the Mtendere. They even sold the locomotives. The Chakwera administration is here to fix the broken systems. Madam, Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, the bulk system which is being introduced as government to government, we are trying to cut all the middlemen. This government would want to interface the refineries, which is Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain, to mention a few. Buying fuel from the middleman in Zigubu. That's why most of the members are agents of those middlemen. Now, the bulk buying, it will be interfacing. It will be interfacing with the refinery without all these middlemen. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, fuel supply chain is complex. And I need members to understand the geopolitics and the supply chain in the supply of fuel. The old system was so porous that most of the vessels and the middlemen were in Beira, Nakala, and Tanzania. However, we are going to be bringing the fuel. And even I can remove the fears that the fuel will not be expensive because we are cutting off all the middlemen. And bringing the fuel is about procurement, not in Zigubu. So PIL will be always there with their oil marketing companies, the OMS. So PIL will be running because the law says PIL will be bringing the fuel 40% of the product. And the 60% will be brought by NOCMA. So this NOCMA is an agent of government which is mandated to bring the fuel 60% of the product, and the 40% is the private sector. So the private sector will be always there, whether it can be DDU or DPU or ex-tank. So the private sector, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, will play its role, and government will also be looking into these issues. Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, I beg to move that the bill be read second time.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that Bill number 29 of 2024, Liquid Fuels and Gas Production and Supply Amendment, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Mulanjibali. What has gone out of order?
Madam Speaker, Is it in order for the Honorable Minister of Energy to insinuate that in the previous governments, things were not handled well, while himself, we want to set the record straight here, while himself as a minister, he was in all the other governments, playing his role there. Is it the governments or him that make mistakes? We need to be guided. The second issue, is it in order? Is it in order when a government is dislodging a minister to give him all difficult bills to bring to parliament, so that after passing these bills, they should dislodge him into the wilderness? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we make progress? Can we proceed?
Bills, committee stage, Bill number 29 of 2024, liquid fuels and gas production and supply amendment.
Honorable members, it's committee stage. May I ask the honorable chair for, is it social? Legal? Chair transport, come and chair the committee stage. Thank you.
Welcome, honorable members, to committee stage of Bill number 29 of 2024, liquid fuels and gas production and supply amendment. I wish to inform you that chairperson has not received any proposed amendment for clause number 1. I therefore put a question that clause number 1 be part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, therefore, clause 1 forms part of the bill. Honorable members, I wish to inform you that the chairperson has received two amendments on clause number 2, and this is from Mulanje West. Mulanje West. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chair. I would like to withdraw the proposal because I do not want to be part of the thievery. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mulanje West. I therefore call Chairperson for Natural Resources Committee, on the same clause, you submitted an amendment. I recognize you. Oh. Can you request again? You've done it, okay. Proceed.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that Bill number 29 of 2024, Liquid Fuels and Gas Production and Supply Amendment, be amended in clause 2 on definitions by removing the phrase government agent and replace it with term state-owned entity. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Honorable members, if no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that clause 2, as moved by the Honorable Chairperson of Natural Resources Committee, be amended by the House. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, therefore, the motion is carried. And the Honorable members, I now put the second question. The question is that the clause 3 to 11, the clause as amended by the House stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, therefore, the motion is carried. Honorable members, having reached this far, there are no amendments from clauses 3 to 11. I now put a question that clauses stand part of the bill. That's clause 3 to 11. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, therefore, clauses 3 to 11 form part of the bill. In conclusion, honorable members, I want to thank you, and this marks the end of the committee stage of the bill number 29, Liquid Fuels and Gas Production and Supply Amendment. Thank you so much for your attention.
Bills report stage, Bill number 29 of 2024, Liquid Fuels and Gas Production and Supply Amendment.
Honorable Minister of Energy, may you report what transpired on committee stage?
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 29 of 2024, Liquid Fuels and Gas Production and Supply Amendment Bill 2024 passed through committee stage with an amendment, and I beg to move that the third reading be taken today. Madam Speaker, Madam Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you, honorable members. I now put a question, and the question is that the third reading of Bill number 29 of 2024, liquid fuels and gas production, supply and amendment, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contra opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 29 of 2024, liquid fuels and gas production and supply amendment.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Second Deputy Speaker, Madam, Liquid Fuels and Gas Production and Supply Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time, and I beg to move that it should be passed.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that Bill number 29 of 2024, liquid fuels and gas production and supply amendment, should be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contra opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Therefore, the bill has passed. Honorable members, thank you. Leader of the House.
Right Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, I want to thank you in the manner you chaired proceedings today, and I would like to thank honorable members of the House for the good job you have done to pass the two bills, but also in a separate way to congratulate the Honorable Minister of Energy for the job well done. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the Honorable Minister of Finance will be presenting a budget mid-year review statement. That's the only business we are going to carry tomorrow. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you very much, honorable members, and thank you for your participation today. I have an announcement to make before I adjourn the House. And the announcement is that all members of Transport and Public Infrastructure Committee should meet in members' lounge after adjournment. That's the end of my announcement. I think we have to move the motion to adjourn early. Leader?
Right Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, I would like to beg that the House do adjourn earlier than stipulated by Standing Order 6. I beg to move.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put a question, and the question is that the House do adjourn early. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. I therefore adjourn the House to tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. House adjourned.
Well, that's how the House has concluded its business today, Tuesday, 3rd December 2024. A summary of today's business in the chamber: the House has debated on and passed 2 bills, and these bills are Bill number 28 of 2024, Energy Regulation Amendment, and Bill number 29 of 2024, that's Liquid Fuels and Gas, that's Production and Supply Amendment. The chairperson for Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change, Honorable Wirani Chilenga MP, presented 2 reports on the bills, and both reports were adopted by the House. These reports are a report on Bill number 28 of 2024, Energy Regulation Amendment, adopted by the committee on 2nd December 2024, and a report on Bill number 29 of 2024, Liquid Fuels and Gas, Production and Supply Amendment, adopted by the committee on 27th November 2024. While the second Deputy Speaker has Honorable Aisha Adams MP has since adjourned the House to tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Chabwino musondi mmene ndithu tamalizira kukupatsirani tsatanetsatane wazokambirana za phungu kuno ku Nyumba ya Malamulo lero lachiwiri pa 3 December 2024. Munzokambirana za lero aphungu akambirana ndi kuvomereza mabilu awiri, ndipo mabiluwa ndi Bill number 28 ya chaka cha 2024, Energy Regulation Amendment, komanso Bill number 29 ya 2024, Liquid Fuels and Gas, Production and Supply Amendment. Ndipo wapampando wa komiti ya Nyumba ya Malamulo yoona zachilengedwe ndi kusintha kwa nyengo olemekezeka a Wirani Chilenga apereka malipoti awiri okhudza mabiluwa, ndipo malipotiwa ndi ripoti lokhudza Bill number 28 ya 2024, Energy Regulation Amendment, yomwe komiti inavomereza lolemba pa 2 December 2024, komanso ripoti lokhudza Bill 29 ya 2024, yomwe komiti inavomereza lachitatu pa 27 November 2024. Aphungu anakambirana ndi kuvomereza malipotiwa. Ndipo pakadali pano achiwiri kwa Spikala a Nyumba ya Malamulo olemekezeka a Aisha Adams MP ayimitsa zokambirana nyumbayi kuti aphungu adzakumanenso mawa lachitatu nthawi ya 2 koloko masana. Malo omwe anzanga onse ogwira ntchito kuno ku Kanema ya Parliament, dzina langa ndi Chikondi Manjawira.